Hi, welcome to this video on subportals. In this video, we're going to go through the basics of subportals, how they work, when to use them, and how they look on platform. If subportals are something that you're interested in, please get in touch with support, who will be happy to arrange a demo to show you more. All right, so the first thing about subportals is it's essentially creating a subportal of the root portal, and all that means is without subportals, you're creating everything on the root. So every student group that you make, every bit of content exists on the root. Subportals let you separate those things out into something stricter than groups, and you can brand subportals differently. You can give people like different roles on the subportals to use. If we go to this one here, we've got our Springfield Academy portal, and we've set up 3 subportals here. So if we go to an incognito window, this is my root portal at springfieldacademy.com. This is my nuclear power plant one. You can see it's got a different URL here. And this is my elementary one here. If we go back to here, we can see that we can brand them differently, give them different logos. We can even set attributes to them depending on what plan you're on. And we can set that all up and manage it from our settings. Going back to our user groups page now, we can see that we've got this support filter, and you still use it the same way that you use Synap. All content is set to people in groups. Instead now we have specific groups set to each subportal. So let's have a look at nuclear power plant one. I can apply that filter and you can see this is highlighted to me here. So one of the common questions we get asked is why bother with subportals? Like we already have this sort of segmentation and division between groups. Well, subportals is when you want to give a version of your portal to a client, or maybe you're selling sort of B2B access to Synap yourselves. It creates like a clear and separate environment for each client. There's no way for someone in a subportal to be able to interact or affect users in another subportal. So I could set the same exam to my nuclear power plant group and my elementary group. However, any educator in the nuclear power plant group wouldn't be able to see anything in the elementary group, and it just lets you have that like sort of root level sort of, you can set content out through the root level to your various subportals, and then you can set the permissions to say, okay, but you can create exams with these quizzes, or you can you can't set assignments, but you can look at them, or you can set assignments, but you can't revoke them, you know, and this is where you use like the permission system alongside the subportals as well. So yeah, so mainly organizations want subportals because they want a really clear, strict division, sort of stricter than user groups can be. For users, they're selling B2B access, or they want to expand into sort of being a B2B platform and use Synap to do that. They want to have custom branding, so subportals can have their own branding, their own login page, their own URL. They can have their own attributes. They can have their own logos, certificate, templates, all those sorts of things come with subportals. And essentially you can sort of then sort of white label Synap to look exactly how your clients want to, set them up as educators with the correct permissions, and then they can like essentially go and manage that portal, that subportal, but you can still have oversight from the root rather than having a completely separate Synap portal. So yeah, so what we've got here is let's go back to our nuclear power plant one for an example. So if I apply that there, I have my nuclear power plant students and my students here and my educators here. So I have set the permissions up on this group to be able to manage this one. Let's have a look at what they've got access to. So we've got all of these here. We'll just probably look for Homer for an example. If we go to the exams, we can see they just have one exam set here that's still in draft. They've got some assignments set to them and it's active. So let's have a look at this assignment as an admin of the root, which is what I am now, and then we'll compare it to how that looks when you're in as that specific educator. So we've got this one, and this is set to my nuclear power plant group, and therefore it's become sort of a subportal assignment. So that's all looking fine to me. The other thing that you can do is you can have a mix of subportal users in a root group. And this is if you want to control and manage that access. So let's have a look at this group here. We've got our subportal, so we can see we've got people from Moe's Bar, we've got Springfield Elementary, we've got root users who just don't have a subportal label. And we've got a couple of in from the power plant. So let's go back to that assignment group and let's have a look how it looks. So yes, I can see everyone in here. I've got a mix of users there. Let's go over to a Subportal now and log in as, I think it was Montgomery. So logging in, go into this one, logging in. Cool, so I'm in as him now. Again, you got your custom note pages. You can get dynamic variables in here as well if you want to, which is how these are powered, to create them custom for each subportal. If we go to here, we can see only the groups that he's got permissions to view. Just be mindful that he's on a separate URL, so you can't just share a link with him from here. That'll not work in the same way. If we go over to assignments now, got the one set to that subportal, which is correct. And we also have our health and safety refresher, which is set to the root group. And now this is where the sort of division of it comes in. Because this user here is a subportal user, the user can only live on that subportal. So if there was another Montgomery Burns and you invited him to another subportal group, it would create a completely new user. You can't have the same user with the same email address exist at multiple subportals. They would be treated as new users on Synap. So this is the same assignment. So you can see the ID here. This is looking at it with an admin as someone who has like full access and can view everyone. And then this is looking at it with an educator that does have global view permissions for assignments, but they can only see users who are on the subportal like that they belong to as well. So that's like the limit of it. So there would be no way for them to be able to see, say, Mo, who's at Mo's bar, or whoever it is. So that's essentially how it works. You might want to have like more roles for educators, and you can add those permissions to be able to create courses. We've got loads of videos on permissions and how to do that, and it works the same. It just will all therefore now exist within a subportal. If we go, he's in that educator group here, so I'm back in as an admin, so I'm obviously jumping around a few screens. We can go to permissions and we can see what he's able to do. So he is allowed to view courses, but only the ones that exist on his subportal. We can give him permissions to be able to create if we want to. Same for assignments. We can say, okay, well, he should be able to export attempts, export surveys, but you might not want them to be able to revoke, or you might. Can they do internal reviews, or is that something that you want someone else to do? Same here for their exam permissions as well. We might see that they're given some specific ones. If you wanted them to be able to like make content, that's all configured here. Or if you have really specific bits of content, so if I go to here, you might sell or want to give people these courses, and then you might want them to be able to like create the assignments on their own. We can go to access here. He's got that now from having the global view. We can give him PowerPoint educators. Can give him edit permissions as well from there if we want to. So that's like the really quick run through of subportals. There's obviously a lot you can do with them, and it just depends on like how you have the permission set up. To just give an overview of like the broad use cases for it, we have clients who are using them because they essentially sell educator access. So they want people to be able to have a version of the portal that they've set up, and they can do as many exams or deliver as many exams or assignments or collection, revision content to their users as they want to. They just pay sort of that B2B fee once a year. The other use case is, well, we have clients who want to like quite tightly control the content, and they would never give their subportal educators the permissions to be able to edit content, and everything will be done at the root, but they want their subportal educators to be able to go on and go to assignments that are set at the root, as this one was, but only be able to see their subportal users. So that's just like another sort of case for it. And then the other one is wanting to have that white labeledness, and being able to still have that oversight and not just have to set someone up a completely separate Synap portal. It is helpful being able to like manage content from the root and like send it down, especially how much time like it takes to set up like good content. That's got a quick run through of subportals. And as I say, if it's something that anyone's interested in, you can just get in touch with support, and our team's happy to talk through your exact use cases, suggest how they would set it up and best practices and all that sort of stuff. Thank you.